Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hi, Assalamualaikum everyone and welcome to today's session. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Nur Afifah Rosli and I'm your moderator for today. Today we are presenting Sustainable Tourism Development presented by four panelists which is beautiful and lovely. Before that, I want to introduce our Madam Noraliza binti Abdul Qadir as our lecturer for EP4 in AI group. Hi Madam. Next, let me introduce the panelists. First panel is Miss Noratika. Hi, Miss Atika.
Hi.
Okay, second panel is Miss Anurjana. Hi, Miss Anurjana.
Hi.
Third panel is Miss Nur Hazira. Hi, Miss Nur Hazira.
Hi.
And last panel is Miss Siti Fatima Azahra. Hi, Miss Fatima.
Hi.
Okay, just a little housekeeping before we get started. If you have any question during the presentation, please type them into the question box or you can on the mic and speak. I will bring them up during the presentation and we will also have time for question at the end. Now, without further ado, I will introduce a little about sustainable. Sustainability is a popular trend in nowadays life concerning development and operation also in tourism sector. However, there is a confusion about the different meanings of the sustainability and whether it can be achieved in tourism. The purpose of this paper is to reveal the necessity of sustainable development in tourism due to limited resources and significant concern about environment that are to be used by future generations. The other reason may be little interest in the issue of sustainability among touristic facility management. Okay, let's go to the legislation and background historical. Do the legislation and background next to the reflected in the development of sustainable tourism to be played by various parties? To know the answer, I will turn the time over to Miss Atika. Maybe Miss Atika have the answer about it.
Everyone hear me? Sekejap ya. Okay. Can you hear me everyone? Okay. Okay, Assalamualaikum and good evening to everyone and thank you to Miss Afifah as moderator today for the question. Yes, the legislation and historical background need to be reflected in the development of sustainable tourism and it need to be done by various parties. By the way, rapid socioeconomic development based on the use of natural resources such as space, mineral resources, and water degraded environment to such an extent that it become necessary to revise rules for the use of the environment, taking into account the limitation of many elements of the natural environment, the increasing level of interference, the natural through the exploitation, destruction, pollution will lead to a situation in which the socio-economic development is impossible without resources. For example, the year 1992, the UK, based on pressure group tourism concerns, set out its own guideline or own strategy and began actively to lobby the private sector to take a more account of the need for sustainable planning, such as supporting local economies, training staff, marketing tourism responsibly, and others. Other organization, World Tourism Organization or UNWTO, contribute to the principle called sustainable development, which aim to minimize damage to the environment, wildlife and local population caused by tourists and the industry. That means organizations in the country have own guideline or strategy to reflect the legislation and background their own country. That's all, and back to the moderator. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Atika, about the explanation, legislation, and historical background. Natural resources become necessary for growth of social and economy of the country. These are many projects and research which explain more about the historical background of this sector. This industry World Tourism Organization play the main role in this sector. Okay, we move to the concept of sustainability. What is the meaning of sustainable development in general? Maybe this question can be explained by Ms. Anur Jannah.
Thank you, moderator. Okay, what about the concept of sustainability? For your information, sustainable is one that meets the needs of the present generation without compromising the ability for future generations to meet their own needs. The definition identifies basic principles of sustainability as take a holistic approach to planning and strategy, protect the environment like biodiversity, preserve the essential ecological process, and ensure that productivity can be sustained into the long-term future. The concept of sustainable development usually described as eco-development, sustaining development, or suspensory development. Sustainable development is based on three pillars like economic development, environmental protection, and social development. Sustainable tourism, sustainable tourism is defined all forms of activities development of tourism that preserve nature, economic, and social integrity and guarantee maintenance of natural and cultural resources. Sustainable tourism development guidelines and management is applicable to all forms of tourism in all types of destinations, including mass tourism and the various nice tourism segments. I think that's about the concept of sustainability. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Anur Jannah, explanation about concept of sustainability. In concept of sustainability is defined in terms of the sustainable development, which describe for eco-development, self-sustaining, and more. In a nutshell, it contains with three main things, which are economic development, environmental, it's content with the environmental protection and social development. The sustainable tourism is defined as well form of activity. So concept of sustainability is a continuous process. Okay, we move to the principle of sustainable development in tourism enterprises. The extent to which the principle of sustainable development in tourism enterprises are used, maybe one of our panelists can answer about it.
Thank you, moderator. Just now, moderator asked me about the principles of sustainable development in tourism and enterprise. Now I will explain how far the principles of sustainable development in tourism enterprise. The principles of sustainable development in tourism is applied relatively rare. It is due to the tourism business in the economic calculation does not include to a limited extent the social cost and cost related to environmental protection. The most important barriers to the application of the principles of sustainable development by companies should include a lack of awareness of the problem, the need to reduce costs, and lack of conviction that use of such practice can be reflected in an increased number of clients. Among tourism enterprise organized of tourism and ship owners rarely apply the principles of sustainable development, mainly due to the higher level of variable costs and the higher elasticity of demand. While the transport undertakings and hotel management often include sustainable principles when shaping their product, this shows due to higher share of less price sensitive business customers. The introduction of these principles by companies is also influenced by their surroundings. I think that's all about principles of sustainable development in tourism enterprise. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jana, for your answer about the principle of sustainable development in tourism enterprises. There are few principles in sustainable development in tourism enterprises, such as tourism business in the economics calculation does not include the social costs and costs related to environment protection. Lack of awareness of the problem by companies reduce cost and lack of conviction. This principle also will influence surrounding principle for the development. Okay, we move to the next point. Aim of sustainable tourism. What are the aim of sustainable tourism? This I already want to know from Miss Hazira. Can Miss Hazira explain about this?
Yes. Assalamualaikum. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, moderator. So I will explain a little bit about the aim of sustainable tourism. The aim of sustainable tourism is to increase the benefits and to reduce the negative impact caused by tourism for destination. So, how we can achieve the aim? This can be achieved by first, we should protecting natural environment, wildlife, and natural resources when developing and managing tourism activities. Second, we should considerate of the interest of local communities and the environment in shaping the tourism product and marketing activities. The last one is creating social economic benefit for communities through employment and income earning opportunities. That's all the answer for your question, moderator.
Thank you, Ms. Hazira, about the explanation of the aim of sustainable tourism. Okay, about the aims, they have aspect, right? Okay, what are the aspects to ensure the goal of sustainable tourism is achieved and can make tourism more sustainable, Ms. Hazira?
Thank you, moderator. I will explain the goal of sustainability for making tourism more sustainable. There are three aspects of sustainability for making tourism more sustainable. The three main aspects usually mean that we do sustainable activity or the activity in the same or similar way for the indefinite future. The three aspect is economical aspect, environmental aspect, and social cultural aspect. First, we will discuss about economical aspect. The first point is economic benefit. The tourism sector must ensure the viability and competitiveness of areas and businesses to achieve long-term validity. This is because the tourist sector will benefit our economy, so we have to take care of the sustainability of tourism. Second is a local prosperity. They should maximize the economic benefit of tourism to the local community, including tourist spending in the area. Local communities should be given exposure and assistance for them to maintain the sustainability of tourist spot. Good relationship between the tourist sector and the local community will definitely further boost the tourism sector in our country. The third is quality of work. They also need to increase the quantity and the quality of tourism related employment in the local community, including giving wages, work environment, and employment opportunities without any discrimination. For example, the tourism sector can provide funds or wages to the local community to maintain existing facilities in a suitable place to be used as a tourist destination. That's all the point for economic aspect. Next, we will move to the second aspect. The second aspect is environmental aspect. The first point is physical integrity. They should maintain and build quality landscape both is in urban and rural areas and prevent from ecological and visual form of pollution. They also need to make sure no vandalism take place at the tourist spot so that we can give a good cash to the outside tourists. Second is biological diversity. They should promote and protect the environment, natural habitat and wildlife, as well as minimize the impacts of tourists on the environment. A well-maintained environment will have a good impact on the tourism sector as the beauty of the environment is very valuable. The last is clean environment. So how they can do to make sure the environment clean? They also have to control minimizing of water, soil pollution and reduction of generating waste by tourists and tourist operator. A place where minimized pollution occur will definitely attract tourists to come many times. The last aspect is social cultural aspect. I will explain three important points for the social culture aspect. First is culture well. They should preserve and develop the culture heritage, local culture, custom, and extraordinary nature of the host community. For example, our country, Malaysia, has a variety of races, right? And the races must have a variety of custom. The diversity of our custom become an attraction to foreign tourists. Second is meet visitor explanation. They have to provide a safe and enjoyable tourism experience. Tourist safety must be a priority. Tourist places need to emphasize safety aspects such as having a safe equipment so that tourist places are safe to travel and in case of unwanted problem, we have various tools to save them. Last is local control. They also need to empower to plan and make decisions in tourism management by the local community. A good relationship between the two parties will definitely bring various benefit and be able to solve various related problems as best as possible. So, we can conclude that the development of tourism must emphasize the economic, the environmental, and social cultural aspect. These are all important factors in determining the success of a tourist area. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hazira, for explanation about the aspect in sustainability. Firstly, economical aspect. Economical profitability, local prosperity, and quality of employment plays the major role in economy factor. Secondly, environmental aspect. Physical integrity, biological diversity, clean environment are important in environmental aspect. Lastly, social culture aspect are cultural wealth, meeting expectation of visitors and local control. So that main aim of creating sustainability of tourism is achieved by the specific aspect above. Thank you for explanation from Ms. Hazira. Let's move to the point sustainability tourism in Poland. I think I want to ask Ms. Astikah back whether the concept of ecology and sustainability needs to be known by every hotel manager to make the tourism sector more environmentally friendly.
Thank you to moderator for the questions. Yes, the concept of ecology and sustainability, every hotel manager must to be noted. That's to make the tourism sector more environmentally friendly. For example, in Poland, this country reaches level of 8% in 2010 according to Polish Economic Council of Renewable energy of effective system and building insulation. After that, the term ecotourism, sustainable tourism is very fashionable, like the worldwide famous Intercontinental Hotel Group IHG on Bora Bora or a Polish hotel in Wisławik. Nevertheless, probably most of hotel managers are interested in being recognized more eco-friendly only for financial reasons. But I believe everyone wants to make a profit, but at the same time, it is also to help pressure this sector with the concept of ecology being given priority and reductions of running costs in the most important essential for encouraging environmental action. Furthermore, most of introduced innovative technologies are based on energy or reducing waste production system, such as makes use of renewable energy resources like wind, geothermal, tides, sunlight, energy, and others. For ecology concept, build hotel use label enhancing customer to save water and not to change tower every day. That's all for my point. That's all. Thank you. Back to the moderator. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Atika, for explanation about sustainable tourism in Poland. The sustainable tourism in Poland is innovative and creative. 8% in 2010 in Poland reached Polish Economic Chamber of Renewable Energy. Usage of technology for hotel transportation is innovative and modern. Okay, for the last point, the impact of tourism. So as we know, sustainable tourism development has also have impact of tourism. To maintain the sustainable tourism, we should know the impact of tourism to the countries. Maybe can Miss Fatimah explain a little bit about the impact to economy, environment and social culture?
Yes, thank you moderator for your question. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and good afternoon to Madam and all panelists and also the audience who attend this webinar. I will explain a little bit about the impact of tourism to the countries. Okay, tourism contribute to both positive and negative effects in all three aspects of sustainability. The first aspect is economic. I would like to talk about the positive impact first. Firstly is tourism sector can reduce unemployment. It is because in the tourism sector and in the tourism industry, they have many job opportunities such as food and beverage service, receptionist, housekeeper, beach guide, and others. Secondly, tourism sector can make government develop more and upgrade infrastructure and facilities at the local area like airports, malls, hospital, entertainment center, road and rail tracks. With this development, it will make an income to the local people from the expenditure by the tourists at the destination for foods, for souvenirs, public transport, and some excursion. Okay, let's move to the negative impact. So for the negative, government will expenditure many monies on the tourism infrastructure and the facilities. Building and developing involve a lot of initial and ongoing expenditure. The airport may need expanding, the beaches need to be regularly cleaned, and the new roads may need to be built. All of this take money, may mean less funds are available for basic service for the local population. As we know, some destinations have been known to spend more money on the tourism industry than on providing an education or healthcare for the people who live there. Secondly, tourism sector can increase cost of living for the local people. The more developed a country is, the higher standard of living for the local population. Okay, the next aspect which is environmental impact. So for the positive, tourism sector can contribute significantly to preservation of protected areas such as coral reef, beaches, forests, and biodiversity. But usually it's a failure because there is no tight enforcement by the government and irresponsible attitude by the tourists themselves. Actually, for the environmental impact, they have many negative effects rather than positive. So I will just go to the negative. Firstly is water resources. Water and especially fresh water is one of the most critical natural resources. This is because the tourism industry generally overuses the water resources for hotels, swimming pool, golf courses, and personal use of water by the tourists. This carries out in water shortage and degradation of water supplies. Secondly is air pollution. Transport by air, road, and rail tracks is continuously increasing in response to the rising number of the tourists and the greater mobility. Transport by emission and emission from energy production linked to acid rain, global warming, and photochemical pollution. Air pollution from from tourist transportation has a global impact, especially from the carbon dioxide. Some of these impacts are quite specific from the tourist activities. For example, in a very hot countries, tour buses often leave their motors running for hours, while the tourists go out for an excursion. This is because they want to return to a comfortably air-conditioned bus. And another negative impact is lack on local resources, loss of biodiversity, depletion of the ozone layer, and the climate change. And the last aspect, which is social cultural impact. So for the positive is commercialization of culture and art. Tourism sector can see rise to many commercial business. This helps to enhance the community spirit as people tend to have more disposable income as a result. This business also may promote and preserve local tradition and local culture. Museum, shows, and galleries are the fantastic way to showcase the local custom and the local tradition at the destination. And for the negative impact is globalization and the destruction of preservation and heritage. Globalization is the way which in the world is becoming increasingly connected. So we are losing our individuality and gaining a sense of global being, whereby we more and more alike than ever before. Globalization is inevitable, means unavoidable in the tourism industry because of the interaction between the tourist and the host. uh, which typically come from different geographical, cultural background, values, lifestyle, languages, and the levels of prosperity. That's all. Back to moderator.
Thank you, Ms. Fatima, about the explanation about the impact of tourism. Yes, the tourism gives positive and negative impact to the country. In positive, it able to reduce unemployment, infrastructure development, and increase income of people. Moreover, it helps to preserve protected area, able to commercialize culture and arts. In negative impact, it increase cost and living for local people, lead the pollution and destruction of preservation and heritage. So, the recommendation that I would like to tell you, sustainable development principles are applied in tourism, mostly when they are seen as profitable. Entrepreneurs in hospitality industry introduce environmental friendly solutions, mostly because of economical reasons. It can also be seen as an advantage from marketing point of view. Eco labels may attract customers tourists to specific destinations. The conclusion about this topic, the sustainable of tourism development had to improvise the sector in many aspects, but it also lead to few impacts to environment and social. That's all from our group for today. Thank you everyone for attending today's webinar, Sustainable Tourism Development. Hope everyone can understand about our topic and know more about tourism in economic, environmental, and socio-cultural. Have a great rest of your day and goodbye.
Okay, thank you very much. Group 6. Okay, I would like to ask you a few questions, but before that, I would like to know, Anujana, do you have a bad internet connection over there?
Yes, maybe.
Do you have a bad? Okay. All right. Jana, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Because okay. Right, Jana. This is the problem now. I cannot hear you clearly when you were presenting just now because a lot of like buffering and statics and all that. So I cannot hear you clearly of what you are trying to explain to the audience. Don't worry, I'm giving you a chance. What I would like you to do, Jana, is to record your part of the presentation. Okay, right? All your points you present, do like what you're doing now. And then please share the link to your recording. Maybe you save your recording in Google Drive or maybe in YouTube. And you share me the link in the Google Classroom platform for your class. Can you do that?
Inshallah, sure, madam.
Okay, by this week, Okay, so that I can give you marks and upload the marks in the system. Sure, can. All right, okay, good. Okay, Right. So I would like to ask one question to each and every one of you. Questions can be about this webinar, about the topic, or about something else. All right. Okay. First question goes to Siti Fatimah. Fatimah, my question to you is, why did you choose this topic to be presented in this webinar?
Okay, madam. Okay, why I choose this topic. At first, we chose a title about 14 states in Malaysia that have their own uniques, but Madam did not agree, maybe because this title is so familiar to hear and people may already know about it, especially Madam. So after that, we choose a title about the Nordic tourism, but Madam also did not agree with our title. So we switched to sustainable tourism, which people probably rarely hear. So we chose this title to give a new knowledge to friends who may not know about the sustainable tourism and may not know about that sustainable tourism is existed. So after we know about the sustainable tourism, we can be a backpacker or traveler who can practice the sustainable way. So lots of advantage, especially to the environment. I think I guess that.
Thank you very much for the answer. Very clear. Thank you very much, Fatimah.
Thank you,
Next
madam.
question goes to Nur Afifah. Now, Afifah, I would like to know, if I ask you to do another webinar, what topic do you want to do on and why?
Okay, thank you, madam, for your question. Okay, what topic that I would like to do the other webinar? Okay, if I have a chance to do another webinar, I would like to choose topic cyberbully because nowadays people know we are online classes and use online for to create or something to find another what people call things in internet like now. Okay, so cyberbullying can be what people say in Instagram or WhatsApp because I'm also one of the what people say the victim. I'm also one of the victim cyberbully before this, but I already came through it by myself, and I have my some of lecturer can understand and can help me to go through this cyberbullying. So maybe this topic can make the other people open their eyes about the cyberbullying. That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Interesting answer. So you were bullied before online. I hope that you have recovered. Okay, and we march on. All right. Thank you very much, Afifah, for your answer. All right. Next question goes to Nur Atikah. Nur Atikah, my question to you is, what is your feeling when you know that you have to do a webinar live in English? What was your feeling at the moment?
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Thank you, madam. First, my feeling is very shocking. um, but firstly, that is my first webinar. What I join to speak English, and that is big. Me feeling like much give more experience to me to speak English, and I my my heart want to learn more about English and to speak good for English for like everyone and madam good English. Thank you, madam.
Okay, thank you very much, Atika. So make this chance opportunity because you have started your first step. So I do hope that in the future you don't stop. Try to find chances to speak more in English so that you can like practice and improve your English. Okay. All right. Thank you, Atika, for your answer. Next person, Nur Hazira. Yes, Nur Hazira. My question to you is, uh, what is the biggest challenge that you face when you are preparing your materials for the webinar?
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Thank you, madam. The biggest challenge is I didn't know more about this topic because it's a really topic. So I make many research to this topic to understand so I can speak and give some knowledge to others. And extra, I a little bit nervous. So we also have many time do the preparation, and so I can little bit okay lah. And also I cannot speak English fluently, so I also afraid to speak. But Alhamdulillah, I can manage it a little bit. Uh, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Uh, I'm not judging you based on your grammar. Don't worry. I'm judging you. For me personally, I'm more judging you on the content that you are able to give me when you speak. Okay, the broken English, I don't really care about that much. You don't have to worry. Okay, all right. So don't worry about speaking broken English because at least you are trying to speak in the language rather than not trying at all. Okay, all right. Jana, my question to you is, Jana, can I see you or I cannot see you? Can you hear me, Jana? Okay. Jana, can you hear me? Hey, Jana, can you hear me? Jana! I know, Jana! Can you hear me? Cannot.
Madam, maybe line Jana was late because before we this we refer also like this.
I see. Okay, no problem then. Okay lah. So I can't. Okay, just tell Jana it's okay. Okay, it's okay if she can't answer the question, but just tell her to do her part for the video and then send it to me in Google Classroom by this week. Okay, all right. So, ladies, good job. I never know about sustainable tourism, and now I know something about it. Thank you very much for the knowledge. Don't forget to upload the link to the recording. Hi, Jana. Can you hear me? No. Okay, it's okay then. All right. So thank you very much for knowledge. Thank you very much for the efforts that you have put in, your time, your effort to make this webinar a success. Okay, don't stop here. Keep on trying to find chances to speak in English. You have to keep on trying to improve the language in order to be fluent, more fluent than you are now. Okay, all right. So I have to leave the group. Please reward yourself with a good lunch.
Thank you, madam. Madam, can you take a picture?
Okay lah.
Okay, ready. Okay, everyone ready? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, one more. 1, 2, 3. Oh, Jana baru masuk. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.
Alright. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Madam, thank you.